Is FIFA football going to change its name? That is going to be something that a lot of people are going to talk about in the next couple of days. And this is coming from an article that I read on jeuxvideo.com, which is a French media outlet. And apparently, according to them, it seems that over the past couple of days, there have been rumors that that FIFA 22 might be the very last FIFA game that is going to be called FIFA. And the reason for all that is that apparently the International Federation of Football Association, or Fédération Internationale de Football Association, because actually that's what FIFA means, it's a French name. Apparently, the FIFA is going to stop EA from having the exclusive rights to their names, and as a result, because they're not going to have they're not going to be the only people to be using that name, they will have to change the name of their game, which is something that's very interesting because obviously Electronic Arts have benefited from a sort of almost monopoly for decades. I remember the very first FIFA game that I actually played on the Sega Mega Drive was actually called FIFA International Soccer. I still remember that. That was in 1994. I played this game in 1994, and I thought it was absolutely awesome. Could play with my favorite teams, and the only thing is that these were not the actual players. I don't think that they had a license to use the actual names of the players, but definitely the teams were there, and it was just a fantastic way to play football back then on consoles. Apparently, there was also a PC version on DOS, but I'm not so sure about this. You guys let me know if you have played that original FIFA football, FIFA soccer, FIFA International Soccer back in those days. But nevertheless, they've been releasing games year after year after year to the point that it has become one of Electronic Arts, if not the most the most profitable license from Electronic Arts. And of course, as a result, here gathering that much money has caught the attention of FIFA, because you can be sure, you can count on FIFA that whenever there is money to be making, they will be sniffing their way around and try to get a share of that name. And since it seems like, football is one of the most popular sports in the world, and I say football and not soccer because I'm European, by the way. So football is one of the most popular sports around the world, and you've got potentially billions of people playing football games all over the world, myself included, when I was a little bit younger. And so, being limited to just one particular publisher releasing games on just a few particular platforms, talking about PC and of course the consoles, is not necessarily something that that FIFA might be interested in, and they would like to have maybe more revenue, especially coming from mobile. Because when you're looking at those ancient games, for example, I'll try to get you some footage of the original FIFA International Soccer. You can definitely see that it's still an enjoyable experience, not necessarily if you play on PC or consoles, but definitely something that you could play on some mobiles, and especially low-end mobiles. And there is where you also have, perhaps right now, the biggest margin of progression when it comes to finding new audiences that maybe don't necessarily have a gaming PC or the means to buy a console, but still have a cell phone and would be interested in playing a football game, right? So what does the article say here? Apparently, right now, and these are crazy numbers, by the way, apparently Electronic Arts is paying FIFA $300 million per year for the license, which is absolutely insane. And the FIFA would like to actually double, apparently, to what the article says, to double this amount of money, and the goal is to actually get to earn up to $1 billion each year just for the licensing of the game. That is how much money they're expecting to be making out of their license here. And of course, that is a lot of money. Even for Electronic Arts, they don't really believe that they can make that much profit if they have to pay so much money, which is why, as a result, there are talks about actually changing the name, and that's why FIFA 22 might be the very last football game that we're having from Electronic Arts that is going to be called FIFA. So what is going to be the new name? Apparently, according to some of the rumors that are online, it looks like they are going to try to call it EA Sports FC. FC being, of course, football club, not soccer, football. But I don't know about I think that, in my opinion, FIFA, the name FIFA for football games is such an iconic, it's just an iconic piece of video gaming. It's been there for almost 3 decades, and just changing the name, in my opinion, is just going to make the license more generic. Just like, for example, Pro Evolution Soccer is now called eFootball. It just sounds like some generic name and doesn't feel very attractive. Even if the gameplay remains the same, even if the graphics are still outstanding, just having the game called EA Sports FC, in my opinion, is just going to be it just sounds meh, if you see what I mean, right? And as far as I'm concerned, I haven't played a FIFA game since 2002, so I'm not really maybe the best person to be talking about this. Although I did play Football Manager, but it was the same engine as FIFA, but not FIFA itself, right? But let me know in the comment section down below, guys. Are you fans of football? Have you played a FIFA game recently? As far as I'm concerned, I haven't played the FIFA games for a very long time because of the FIFA Ultimate Team and the whole monetization aspect, which I find absolutely ridiculous and game-breaking, in my opinion. I'm more a fan of the old-school games where you just had, your teams and you were just trying to become, the champions, win the Champions League, win eventually the World Cup, or all kinds of competition. I was not really into multiplayer or whatever, so that's why I slowly drifted away from those football games. But still, nevertheless, I've always been closely watching what Electronic Arts was doing with their football games, and the fact that they're going to be changing their names for me is, it's a part of my childhood, a part of my youth that is also going away. But that's all for this video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you soon on the channel. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later. A huge shout out to everyone who's been helping me out on Patreon and via the YouTube Joint Membership program. Creating content on YouTube involves continuous circles of ups and downs, and it is when we are the lower parts of the curve that your help really motivates me to keep on going. Your contribution really does make a difference, which is why in return I try to give back by offering backers access to my private Discord channel, automatic access to exclusive giveaways, or answering your questions during the show. You can help me out with as little as $1 a month, and any help is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for watching again. This is the Eradicator. I'll see you guys later.